Guys, today we're going to be going over Solana and Cardano because, well, we're hoping that it will actually start to move. And today I will be going over that with you. So if you haven't already, do subscribe, drop a comment, and click that bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of our videos and help us support the channel. So Solana right now is trading at around 92.86. It has been moving down in a very bearish signal for quite some time. Since honestly, since the 24th of December, it maxed out about 126.15. But it did get rejected and it closed off at 120. Now we had a big push. Now you're always hearing that I'm telling about, the market structures and how that's going, right? So the market structures are always about like the big movements that's going on. It's not one candle, it's not two candles. It's roughly around three, and they're pretty big in size. So something that's actually going to catch your eye when you're looking at the chart. So this is kind of what's going on with Solana. I just wanted to cover that because you're always hearing me say it. Now, since that big structure here moving in, and my drawing is not too good, right here, this structure right here, we're starting to work our way back down into that. Now, in a way, these swings, this structures like this right here, these retracements, those are good to have. Don't get me wrong. Now, of course, everybody wants it to see it go up, but right now it is just kind of working its way down in a very downtrend pattern. Now we're still over the 200 EMA. The volume's not so high, but it's kind of well typical, especially in these smaller amounts. So, but the problem is that it's in the selling form of it, so it's not so great. Now, what we're going to see more and more and more of is this is going to continue down. Now, the plus here is we see the candle is starting to lose power and it's rejecting lower prices, of course, making a support level for it, which is really good. And our support is around this window right now. Uh, the thing is now we have a trend line, we have a resistance line, and we're starting to reach a little bit higher into this. But we're going to see some resistance at around $100 either way if we can start to pump that. But I do believe it start depending on if the next candle will start to close inside of our little window of support. Then we can expect it to start going down. I think honestly that to reach 80, 85 is actually very possible here in the next couple of weeks. So I don't expect anything bullish from Solana within the next like week or so, depending on, well, of course, the news. But it does look like it's going to continue to go down. Only the opposite would be if it would close around um, 97 and it would break past the trend line, and it would actually close in that about two candles or so. That's where I see mm, Solana moving in the near future. Let's jump down to the 4 hour mark just to kind of show you what I mean. You can see even here with the trend line, it's just kind of just following along. It touched here a few times. It's banging, it's banging. It got close to kind of closing here as well, but it's rejected. But it's a little bit higher. But the only thing we can tell is if it will start to go closer in. But only time will tell. So there's not much to really beat on this for now, but hopefully we can see it. Even in the 4 hour frame, the volume is much better. But the thing is that it's not the volume we necessarily want, right? Okay, so taking a look at Cardano, I've never been a big fan of Cardano. Let me just change the right one. Oh, sorry. All right, to the US dollar. So 0.29. Cardano is also kind of like that really wishy-washy kind of coin, but we have more structures in the red than what we do in the green. So about 0.39 would be a good way to say for a very minimum level of support, but the most recent or the most actually realistic would be about 0.50. Now we're about 0.29 here. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 0.49 here. There we go. Just move this up. Now you can see that we're kind of touching these bottom prices, but the good thing is that even because we have a low volume coming in, that we can actually see a good pump. And also it's getting rejected of a lower price and it's starting to move forward. So I do expect for it to kind of start to move upwards a little bit easier, a little bit more. Now, the only thing that we're going to see some like really pressure kind of coming in at is going to be 0.52, being that it's kind of acting as this resistance level as well, and also back in December we had the 10th of December. We're moving on because really, if you're willing to be really specific, let me just move this line so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Right. About right here. All right, so this is a moment too that we're going to see later on. So just to kind of give you a heads up, 0.58 is going to be a lot of resistance coming in later on. So the previous resistance and it's going to act as support. It's going to be much stronger than you could imagine. So we're going to see that. So don't expect it to go up above 60 in any kind of near future. This is just simply because you're going to have that fight for it. It is not that strong in general. Now, the biggest strong that we had, for example, was, of course, that market structure that comes through. And again, it works both ways with the market structure. It can return back down to that, not just the opposite of going up always. So it can return down back to 0.39. But let's say 0.56 area, this will also be that point. So this little area of market structure will return to. This is a strong one, but we don't have enough of a swing into it. We don't have enough candles actually clarifying that as really a strong market structure. Just a really good day for Cardano. But to go back down to about 0.39, 0.40 is highly possible. I mean, right now at 0.50, it's not that many pumps. So that's what we're looking at here, and also market structures before when it started to move in is there. So Cardano and Solana's kind of moving in that really strong bearish momentum, but it could reverse around. We don't know what's going on. Everybody is expecting Bitcoin to really kind of, when the ETF just like launch and just go all crazy, and plus the altcoins. Now, altcoins will start to jump, but they're not going to jump that strong. So everybody's a little leery right now. It's going to take a couple of weeks. It's going to take a little bit of time, and before it actually starts to pump up. Everybody's still kind of reeling in. We're more cautious now than what we were before. And then plus you have the Ethereum ETF that is going to be delayed into May. So as that starts to move a little bit closer towards May, you're going to see a little bit more um, of a shift in power, right? So some of these coins are going to kind of move up. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to go to the moon, but they will start to move in a more positive direction. As it's because I think, honestly, people love Bitcoin, but it's getting such to be so old. Everybody counting everything on Bitcoin, but Ethereum's starting to make that movement inside. So once we get closer into that, we start to figure out what's going on with BlackRock. We start figuring out what's going on. We just need time to understand. Most investors are going to wait. So right now, this is why you're seeing this downcline. And we'll cover a little bit more too. Even if I click on the news, for example, or here you see the GDP growth rate, you can kind of see what's going on. But the news, right? So forecast, yes, analysts forecast 1,300% price rise for Cardano, citing historical pattern. But why is it down? It's not. There's no really historical pattern. I mean, back in like 2022, yeah, there's what's going on. They have their historical pattern, but the thing is that the market's going to do what the market does. It doesn't matter what's going on. But mostly, we always return to those major movement states, whether it be positive or lower. If we're in a bull market, it can return down to the lower spot. So be prepared for that. If you are getting ready to enter another, for example, we haven't bottomed out yet. But as we say, for example, it drops to about 40 here. Let me just give my tick, and yeah. So let's say we drop here and it starts to move forward and going up. I would expect it to kind of reach back this again. Now, how long that will take, I'm not sure, but I can go into a long position expecting that at least in the future. So if I'm going to just like buy it, forget about it, and then come back to it and have an alert set up on that, then I would do that. But of course, I would set my stop losses if it stops dropping a little bit lower. That's giving the risk. So kind of making my play just on that. The market as a total, Bitcoin is up by 1%. You have Solana that is down by 1.4. Cardano is up today actually by 2.1%, but it's still in the bearish market. So here's where you have to be a little vigilant. TRX is up by 2.4. We have SHIB at 2.6, and we have Atom at 0.8. TIA is actually up by 3.1. So nothing really major is moving. Litecoin. Litecoin is up by 5.8. That's really good. And Link at 9.5. So those are the major players right now. But within the last week, it is horrible for the week. We had some big drops. We had like STX dropping by 13.7. ETC 15%. Arbitrum actually fell 15.1, but it had a really good pump over the last couple of weeks. So it really good. So I wouldn't expect it to start to really decline too much, right? All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, stay with me. I'll be coming back to you a little bit later on. And, well, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.